Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my co-host Kenny Varner. How you doing, Kenny V?
I'm doing awesome. How about you, Brian?
Pretty good because of our guest tonight. I finally corralled him. I don't know how it happened. The man who rejected all my advances for the
Has a
Husky
lot to do with
hotline,
just the
Mr. Kirby Martin, head wrestling coach of the Mifflin County Huskies. How are you doing, sir? Can you hear me? Oh, we lost Kirby. That's not good.
Oh boy.
So, Kenny, while we
Yeah.
wait for Kirby to get back on,
Can you hear me now?
yes, sir.
All right.
How are you tonight?
Doing really well. I thank you. How about you guys?
Uh, good. Hey, a
Good.
little bit of snow in the ground. It's November. Wrestling season's coming right around the corner. I'm thrilled. You know that.
Yeah, I know. It's your favorite time of the year.
You better believe it. And we're on here to talk Husky wrestling. So um, I'm going to start it off. I know you haven't even started practicing yet, but how do you think? How's your turnout going to be?
Each year we seem to average between 20 and 25 kids, and it looks like we're going to be in that range again.
Well, that's not too bad considering today's time.
Yeah, I'm thankful that we can steadily have that amount of kids. You hope that you have a good separation so that you can cover weight classes if injuries happen or kids get sick or things like that. Um, I'd love for there to be more just because wrestling's such a great sport and it just builds so many important uh, characteristics in individuals that they can use right now, but also after they're done with high school wrestling, done with school in general. And so, like I said, I wish more kids would do it for just for the character that it builds.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you're popular. We're getting a bunch of people jumping on the stream here to listen to the words of Kirby Martin.
Well, I think it has more to do with just the sport of wrestling in this area is just incredible. People,
Yeah, we are lucky, aren't we? Our fans are rabid. They just support you guys so much, and they travel well, and it's got to be nice to see that.
yeah, it really is. I mean, I grew up in Lancaster where, wrestling was a sport, but it wasn't necessarily a huge turnout fan base. And so being up here and just, the sport is so well um, attended and just incredibly supported, it really makes coaching a lot more exciting.
Absolutely. You went to Garden Spot, right?
That is correct in New Holland.
And you were two-time state qualifier.
Yes, 2 time.
How about that? And my old senile brain can remember things like that.
It was a long time ago, so I'm impressed that you still have those stats tucked away somewhere.
I'm okay. I'm not a Bob Howard kind of stat guy, but I know a good bit.
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
So uh, before we get into team questions, I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are about them this year districts double A and triple A going on at basically the same time.
Yeah, I have my concerns. The district hasn't really figured out yet how it's going to work, and um, in some ways, I feel like district or the AAA is just we're kind of being slighted because they're trying to just, get us in.
I think we lost him again. Are you there, Kenny?
Yep, still here. Yep.
Okay. It must be on Kirby's end then.
All right.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Hey, it's live stream. It happens.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
So,
Hopefully not too much more.
So you were saying about they're just trying to get AAA through?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it feels like. And, unfortunately we're down to 6 teams in AAA, and, that's unfortunate. And, I get it. It's not a big tournament, doesn't have the size that it used to, but, it's still nice to have your own district tournament, not be, like I said, squeezed in, basically.
Right. Let's start off with the not good news. You lost some key guys, but that happens every year. Nick Allison, Trey Shoemaker, a state placer, Anson Wagner, and Kyler Everly are gone. A lot of, leadership there. Talk about them a little bit and what they meant to the team and how you're going to miss them.
Yeah, we're definitely going to miss them. That was a group that they all started with us as 9th graders. All of them, had been wrestling a long time. They started in elementary and worked their way up through, stayed together, stayed with the sport. Early on, as 9th graders, they had some struggle, and it wasn't always smooth. They persevered. By their senior year, their team was just incredibly balanced, and they really led the team when we needed it.
Absolutely. And now it's not like the cupboard's bare, though. You have, it's my last count, if I'm right, you have about seven or 8 starters back, and 6 of them went to regionals.
Yeah.
And one went to states, Hunter Johnson.
Correct. Yeah, that's a very good to build on for this year. It'll certainly change the dynamic of our starting. We're missing those guys from last year, but I'm excited to see how this group starts to gel.
Kirby is having some problems wherever his internet is. So, yeah.
Okay, I think he's coming back.
Well, there we are. It's all right, buddy. Hey, so you were saying that to get them to gel?
Yeah. Get them to gel. Get them to take on lead roles. Get them to just embrace the grind. So everybody, what we usually do in practice, the toughness that we're in competition, and just being their team. Those kids, so it's take on the leadership.
And who are you looking for? Obviously, those guys that were back, like Hunter Johnson and them. Who's going to step up and you want to step up and be the leaders of this team?
I'm definitely looking for the seniors and really step up. Their turn. They've had a chance to watch us guys for a couple of years, and now it's going to be their turn to make the be the leader, and we're going to try to implement here. I'm going to really work with guys and help to learn what it is. Good leader, and make this team theirs and another memorable year.
Okay. And
who are some
there you
kids
go,
that
Kenny. Go ahead.
through?
What'd you say, Kenny?
Who are some of the young kids that through?
Is it just me? Because you're breaking up too, Kenny.
Okay. Yeah, we have like an
See, yeah, like right there, you just broke up. Are you with me, Kirby?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So you were saying about them stepping up, and it's their turn.
Yes.
And so like every year, an influx of new talent comes in. If you don't want to name specific names, that's okay. But any of the newcomers, what do you feel about them and what they can contribute to the team? Because some of them obviously are going to have to jump into that starting lineup.
Yeah, every year have some ninth graders. They'll be new to the program, and the goal is to try to get them acclimated as much as or as quickly as possible.
I left the stream for a second. Sorry, Kurt. I left the stream for a second to see if it was me. It figures I finally get Kirby on and we're going to have technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think I'm struggling on my end as well.
Now you're crystal clear.
Hopefully we can stay that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I jumped out of it, so maybe it was on my end.
I mean, like I said, hopefully it's all been figured out.
Okay. Where was that? Oh, the newcomers. Can you finish up on that thought? Because I had to leave.
Yeah, every year we get a new group of kids that need to learn. I mean, the jump.
Kenny.
Yeah, am I coming in clear now?
Yeah.
Looks like he froze again.
Yeah, Kirby went out again.
Yeah. Let me make one more relocation. See if that helps.
Okay. That's fine. Go ahead. Sorry, folks. This is live stream, and you picking me up, Kenny?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
All right, you are too. So it must be on Kirby's end.
I got it. The router.
So what do you got coming up, Kenny? We'll wait for Kirby to get in.
I'm actually on vacation this week, taking a little time off.
All right, I'm as close to my router as I can be, so hopefully this helps.
All right. Yeah. So finish what you were elaborating on about the newcomers.
Yeah, the jump to high school wrestling is always it can be a tough one. I think it's probably the toughest transition for a wrestler, and over the years, a lot of kids have really done a great job of learning the system and just the work ethic that it takes. And we're expecting, those kids to kind of continue in that mold. And hopefully, like I said, we can get them on the mats and get them in the lineup and help them to get, that first year experience in and just grow from there.
Let's talk about a little bit who's coming back now. Last year, Hunter Johnson, who was just snake bitten with injuries his first 2 years. Finally was relatively healthy and got to states. How invaluable, obvious answer, but how invaluable was that for him to get down there, even though he didn't finish where he wanted to finish, but just to experience that on the individual level and coming back this year? Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Kirby? I cannot hear your voice. I do not hear your voice, buddy. Can you hear me, Kirby? Can you hear me, Kenny?
Yeah, you're still coming loud and clear.
All right. I don't know what's going on Kirby's end, but we cannot pick him up. Can you hear me, Kirby? Yeah, can you hear me? Oh man. Finally got him on and we got technical difficulties. Well, I know maybe if I take him out and bring him back in, but I'm afraid I'll disconnect him. Kirby, can you hear me, buddy? All right, it's back to you and me, Ken. What happened to your avatar?
What do you mean?
I just see a blank icon. I don't see your face.
Oh wow, I'm seeing it here. I don't know. That's weird.
Good. We're having all kinds of goodies tonight.
It's gonna go wrong. Let it all happen at once, right? Get it over
Right.
with. Oh.
But yeah, so hopefully we can get Kirby back.
Mhm.
In the meantime, since we were going to do it anyway, until we get Kirby back on the line, let's talk about the playoff football coming up.
Okay. Going to be a
Shall
busy.
we? What do you say? Kenny?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. What do you say? You want to talk about the playoff football?
Oh, definitely. Yes. 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 We can do that.
All right. Let's start off with State College. They beat Altoona 28-7 last week, and it was a little bit of a struggle. This was 14-7 at halftime, but then State College got it in gear and took out the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Just from looking and covering some of the stuff that we've talked about through the weeks, they seem to always start slow and then build the momentum like into the second and third quarters when they really explode. This was one of those type of games. Plus, they had a week off, and sometimes having a week off isn't all what it's cracked up to be. You get a little rusty, get a little, no live action for a week where Altoona was in that barn burner with Mifflin County.
Yeah.
Had all the momentum going in. So but the ending came out the way that typically they've done, the Little Lions have done this year. And that sets them up for another week of football action.
Yeah, and they go up against an old familiar rival out of District 10 because that's where 6 has to go through, is 10. They meet the winner of 10-8. And Erie McDowell They beat Alderdice last week, 42-15. They are 10-2 in the season, and basically it's Artis Simmons. He has 1,293 yards on the season and 11 touchdowns. They can pass too, but a solid team, good running, not a bad defense, but I don't think. I mean, it might be close for a while, like the Altoona game, but I think in the end, State College has too much firepower. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I agree that too. But I think that State College has to get off to a quick start. The longer you keep a team like that in the game, the more of the chance they have of pulling the upset. But I do think that with that strong defense, and you have um, Finn Fermanic and oh, geez, I'm drawing a blank right now. They're running, but they're
Sheffy,
yes, Sheffield.
Deontay Sheffy.
I think they'll be okay, but I think it'll be a pretty interesting game, and I'll say it's going to be 35-14.
All right, I'm gonna go. I agree with that. I think it's about that way too. I'm gonna say 38-17, State College with the win. And next up, we have. As soon as I get my little slide here, we already did State College and McDowell. It was, where's my banner I created? Well, I didn't have the score put up, so stupid me. Juniata last week went to Du Bois, and I just closed my sheet. Went to Du Bois and picked up the win. Where Waylon Ehrenzeller was back, and now they take on a tough Meadville team. And Meadville, my friend, I don't know if you looked at their stats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, can they run the football?
Yeah.
Their line must be huge and big, but 8-3 Juniata takes on Meadville, 11-1. Meadville last week beat University Prep 40-12 in their playoff game. Ready for this, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
They have three running backs, a three-headed monster. They have Kalen Simmons, ran for 2,042 yards this year, 17 touchdowns. Brady Walker ran for 1,524 yards and 20 touchdowns. And Amari Lewis ran for 604 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Simmons is a beast. He's
Yeah.
at 185 points per game, or I mean, 185
Yards
per game, and he's also their quarterback and averaging 44.6 passing yards a game, which is equals to 247 yards total offense for him. And you add those other running backs, and it could be, a very, very interesting game if Meadville gets their running game going.
Yeah, and they average, it's sick, 390 yards rushing a game. And
Wow.
they average their offense 51 points a game. So the strength of the Indians has been their defense. They only give up 8 points a game, Juniata, but this is by far going to be their stiffest test of the year. And that game's going to be played Saturday at 5 o'clock up there in Meadville.
Actually, it's going to
Or
be
in Erie somewhere, right?
no, actually, it's going to be closer to Juniata. Juniata is going to have the advantage in that. It's going to be at Bald Eagle Area High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you know how the fans from Juniata, they travel in bunches to support their guys. So they might have the home field advantage in this one.
Interesting. I did not know that. I just assumed that it would be up, where
Mm. Yeah,
Meadville was because they have the better record and things like that. But okay, I am corrected. I'm glad you did it.
well, it's been crazy this year. Like when we talk about Penns Valley actually has the better record, and they've got to travel to Altoona. So it's kind of odd how that happens.
And we have Mr. Martin back. Thank you, sir, for you know getting back on with us.
Yeah, I'm trying it through my laptop now.
Well, you sound a lot better and it looks a lot clearer, doesn't it, Kenny?
It does. Yep.
The
So
phone
maybe
just
we'll have no more mistakes
yeah,
on either end because I think ours was doing it too for a little bit. But okay, you talked about the newcomers, so let's get to the veteran leadership you got there. We were talking about Hunter Johnson and him getting the state uh, last year, how that will benefit him this year as far as confidence level and everything. Do you agree with that?
oh, absolutely. Uh, his run last year, again, thankfully, for the most part, was injury free. It was refreshing that he was able to get through the whole season and really put in a great, great year. And I think the postseason that he had definitely is going to build his confidence for this year. He's always really believed in himself. And like I said, putting it on the mat and being at the state tournament, I think is going to bring him a lot of extra motivation.
And then you have the ones that the sophomores, with the freshmen when they came up, they're actually juniors now. Parker Kearns, Deacon Schaefer, Blake Allmiller. How do you see them progressing this season, being juniors now?
Just another level of maturity in their wrestling, in how they practice, and of course how hard they compete. You know, they've had 2 solid years of being on the varsity level, and now it's time to just continue to take it up another notch. You know, we want our kids to keep progressing every year, and so that's what my hope is for those juniors.
And then the other two coming back, Jacob Cunningham, hard-nosed kid. One of those kids that just keeps grinding and improving every year. And then Stiers Oden last year, I mean, he hadn't wrestled much in his career, I don't think. I think he came out late, but towards the end of the season, he started beating people.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how those two they put in a lot of time outside of the season, and so I can't wait to see how their season goes because both of them have improved immensely. Both of them work really hard, and they are two kids that they love to wrestle. They like working hard, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for them.
And we were talking before we got on the air about, Deacon got hurt in football, but I know you can't talk about that. But you said you weren't, you're not discouraged. A lot of coaches are. You like when they play multiple sports, don't you?
Yeah, I was a three-sport athlete in high school. I have no regrets about that. I feel like it made me a much better athlete, and I'm a big believer in multiple sports. I just think that it makes an athlete more well-rounded. I think it decreases injuries and the memories that you make being on multiple teams is like I said, stuff you're just never going to forget. And so no matter how many sports a kid is playing, injuries are always a possibility. And, hopefully Deacon just heals. And I think he'll do everything he can to try to make it in the lineup this season.
I agree with you on that. What'd you play? Cross country?
No,
I know you wrestled,
yeah,
but so track?
I run now, but when I was in high school, I didn't want to run as a sport. That sounds maybe that sounds strange, but I played soccer to get in shape for wrestling, and then
Okay.
I played baseball in the spring because it was a nice transition to be doing something outdoors. And honestly, baseball was my first love. That was the sport my dad liked the most, and so I started playing baseball and wrestling around the same time.
No kidding. I did see something. I've known you a while, and I never knew that baseball was your first love.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Wow. What position did you play?
Uh, in high school, I was purely a utility player. So wherever there was a need, I filled in. So I think my junior year I played right field, and my senior year I played third base, and I enjoyed the like I said, I just liked playing baseball, and I didn't care where I played.
There you go. I was so good at baseball in high school that I ended up playing tennis.
Tennis is a great sport.
And we were so good at tennis, Bald Eagle area. I graduated in '84 and '85. They dropped the sport.
Uh-oh.
That's how good we were. So, about your schedule,
Yes.
you always wrestle tough stuff, and I love it. The typical roughies, King of the Mountain, um, Neil Turner. I like that they call that the Neil Turner Memorial Classic now.
Yes.
Isn't that decent? And I know Neil meant a lot to you.
He did. Yeah. That was my college coach. I got to coach with him for a year right after I graduated. But I also would cross paths with him typically every year. And so it was always just refreshing for me to pick his brain about, how he felt about the current state of wrestling, and, what things to continue to work on as a coach, and how to continue to advocate for the sport and recruit kids to come out. And like I said, I'm going to miss not having those conversations.
Yeah, he was a great guy. I met him a couple times. Really, really good guy. But and then you got Ultimate Warrior, but something new on the schedule. You're opening it with the Gettysburg Quad, which is really going to be nice. Chambersburg, Gettysburg, and State College.
Yeah, the main goal there was to get those four teams together all at once, so that we wouldn't have to be traveling 2 hours on a school night. And thankfully, all four coaches really worked well together to pick a date and a location. Hopefully we'll do it every year, but just change from down in the Gettysburg, Chambersburg area to up here, State College, Mifflin County. Now, we're not going to wrestle State College at that event, and Gettysburg's not wrestling Chambersburg. We made sure to maintain those as separate individual dual meets, just because of they're good dual meets and they're close to each other. So we'll wrestle Gettysburg and Chambersburg, and like I said, not
Chambersburg going to count as your leg.
Yes, yeah,
okay,
that'll count as our league.
Gotcha. So, anybody new coming to the Husky Duels, or is it the same as last year?
I think it's primarily the same. I'm not sure, but we still might be looking for a couple of teams. Hopefully we can get the 8 total that we need.
Now I saw, is that going to be a dual meet? Is that if I saw February 10th with Phillipsburg?
Yeah, the plan there is to have a dual meet.
Because I know you didn't like it last year when you had all that time between Ultimate Warrior and districts.
Yeah, and that's the case again. I was looking for a match between the like I said, between district duels and the individual postseason. So right now like I said, we have a match with Phillipsburg.
So, what are your? I mean, Bo, you're back at that Cedar Cliff State College, of course. Central Dauphin, Cumberland Valley, always tough. What are your thoughts on the schedule this year?
We try to keep it at a high level. It just, I'm a big proponent of iron sharpens iron.
You bet.
And the Mid-Penn those teams are quality matches every year. And I think that really helps to keep our edge. The tournaments, again, are a chance to get a lot of kids matches. And some of those tournaments, if everything goes well, we'll be able to enter, more than one kid at some weight classes. And I love the fact that we can do that now and have some of our backups get varsity matches in a varsity tournament. I think we need more of those kind of competitions.
I agree. And Kenny, you have something you want to ask?
Actually, the questions I had, you already got to them. So.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I got a big mouth. Kirby knows I got a big mouth.
No, you asked great questions.
Thank you. I'm going to put you on the spot. I know you don't have to answer, but because coaches don't like to admit stuff to us normal people. Were you surprised about last year? I don't know if anybody, even diehard Mifflin County fans, thought that you guys would have an undefeated regular season. And if Hunter Johnson would have been healthy, you would have beaten Williamsport and been top 4 in the state.
I have gone into each season the last couple of years with the goal of just making sure that our kids are making progress. And, last year, the team continued to build confidence. And was I surprised? Yeah, I'll say I was a little surprised because, we didn't necessarily have someone that was an outright just superstar. And maybe that was better because that gave more kids a chance to kind of be like, I could be the guy who, kind of maybe the face of the program. And so a lot of those seniors that we talked about, when they started winning in matches and in tournaments, they just continued to build confidence. And, that's the goal. Just we want our kids just getting better as the season progresses. And, this group was really well balanced. We had solid kids at every weight, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. Do you think it was I know you don't like to shine light on yourself and that, but do you think that was a good testament to you and your coaching staff on how you could take a team that didn't have a Kibe, didn't have the Hidleys, didn't have a Hartsock, didn't have a Noah Stewart, and all of a sudden you're one of the best teams in the state?
Well, you want to be able to take a group of kids every year and help them to, first of all, believe in themselves, think positively about stepping out there on the mat and having a good match every time. I don't want credit for that. I just, as coaches, as coaching staff, we work really hard and we really try to help these kids to believe in themselves. And we try to, of course, help them in small ways with their technique and their conditioning. And again, most of these kids have been wrestling since elementary. So you got to give credit to elementary coaches, and you got to give credit to junior high coaches. And you also need to, give credit to their parents for backing them all of these years to be, like I said, ready for their chance to kind of be in the spotlight, which again, the group of kids that we had, I will say this much. I after talking to the seniors last year, they were very conscientious about making sure that every kid on the team felt welcomed and appreciated. They said it was interesting that they didn't always feel that way when they were ninth graders. And so I think some of their behind the scenes relationship building made a big difference. So things like that go a long way.
Do you think you'll have that kind of leadership this year?
That's definitely one of the expectations. I am expecting the seniors to, like I said, work really hard at making every kid on the team feel welcomed and feel important. And I do think that will make for a better season.
So, okay, I know you wouldn't do it, so I'm going to brag you up a little bit. Your third all time in wins in Mifflin County history, and your program is the most successful program at the high school. Period. There's no discussion. It is. I know Bocce won a state championship, but overall, through the years, it's Mifflin County wrestling. That's a testament to you and your staff.
Well, I appreciate that, and
I admit it helps to have Hidley's wrestling for you.
Yeah, but again, they they had role models ahead of them that they looked at as a way of believing that they can be really good. And like I said, I think it's trickling down through. They're doing a great job of staying in touch with all kids in our program. When they do the wrangle over the summer, they're constantly just talking to elementary kids and kids of all ages, and that kind of stuff is infectious. And very thankful that they are willing to help grow the sport in our area. Again, people love wrestling, and with guys like that, it really makes a big difference.
Your staff, you won numerous District 6 coaching staff of the year. Still the same guys? Do you want to run them down for everybody listening?
Yeah, it's the same group. Dale Sear, he and I have coached together since Lewistown. That's when we that's when we started, and I'm amazed that he continues to be patient with me. So that's a good thing. Coach Bedleon is amazing. He's so good with the kids. His wrestling IQ is just through the roof. And he loves wrestling. And like I said, that's infectious. Trey Hartsock will be on staff again. He's so good with our upper weights, having that college experience. He brings that to those upper weight guys. They don't always want to be pushed, but he certainly finds a way to do that. Coach Ray will be back. He has more years in wrestling than any of us.
Good old days, yeah.
Yeah. And you just never know with Coach Ray. He what's amazing about him is he loves being a part of the family, and I think it keeps him young. But he also when there's moments, he has the wisdom that really can help to get us through a situation, if we have them.
Is it still Colton Spade and Anthony Everly down in junior high?
Yeah, Colton Spade will be the head coach. He's done an outstanding job. I'm super excited for him. Last year we had, I think, over 30 kids on the junior high team, and this year, at least with the online registrations, we had 40 kids.
Oh, I love that.
So I love that. At times our junior high numbers have been low, but right now they're really good, and I'm super excited about that. So yeah, Coach Spade, Seth Yerrick is helping him out again, and again, he's great with the kids. You know, he is a teacher, so he knows how to build relationships with kids. And we do have a new guy helping. His name is Cole Kellison. He actually wrestled at Juniata, and
Yeah, I remember.
he's a co-worker with Coach Spade, and so he's going to be joining that junior high program.
Nice.
Nice.
I like that 40.
Yeah.
Usual suspects in District 6, you and Central Mountain and maybe State College thrown in.
Yeah, I really think it's a toss-up between State College and Central Mountain. They just got those hammers.
Yeah.
You know, each one has a state champion returning, and they plus 2 more state medalists, plus some complimentary kids, and I don't think any of them are seniors. So
Yeah, I know. It's scary, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, it'll bring strength to our district, which is, I think, necessary. But you know, we can definitely give them a run for their money.
I know that. Mid-Penn, same. Cumberland Valley, maybe. Central Dauphin.
Yeah, they will. You know, they're always good. Don't forget about Gettysburg.
That's right.
Year in and year out, they have been very good, and they also beat Central Dauphin last year. So yeah, it's going to be those teams. But I am curious to see who comes out on top. I don't think there's a clear cut favorite like there is some years, and those are going to be some really good dual meets.
And I always typical preview of the season question. Outlook goals for the season. I know what they are. You and I have talked so many times over the years, but what are your outlook, your goals, whatever you want to say? What would you like to see this season?
Well, definitely want to continue the success of last year. We were very well-rounded in dual meets, and I would love for that to be the case again this year, where we just have really good balance up and down the lineup. Hopefully some of the kids that are returning improve on their tournament finishes. You know, instead of being like a 7th, they jump up several spots. The juniors and seniors, love to see them, you know, progress from being, you know, like a 3rd on the podium to being in the finals and winning some tournaments. I'll be honest, one of my goals this year is to really focus on leadership. So I'm hoping that the kids embrace, you know, that idea and begin to really process it and think about their choices. Definitely during the season, but I mean all year long. You know, what does it look like to be a good leader, and what kind of choices am I making on a regular basis?
And have the seniors warned the freshmen what practices are going to be like?
Yeah, they can be warned, but until you go through it, it's
get the trash can ready.
Yeah, that happens a little bit.
Well, Kirby, I'm excited. I know you are too. I cannot wait for the season to start. And I really do, Kenny and I appreciate you coming on, taking your time.
Yes,
thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure. I just want to thank you guys so much for the coverage that you provide, and just, like I said, publicizing wrestling, but also, you know, the other sports in Mifflin County. It's so nice to have guys who are knowledgeable about wrestling and Mifflin County sports, and it just, like I said, the community, they really do support the
Yes, they do. And don't be a stranger here.
No
I can
promises.
understand why you didn't want to come down to Vince's, your kids and all that stuff.
You're right.
This year you can do from your house.
Yeah. I can't have too many excuses.
I know you're running out, but
Yeah.
I do appreciate it, and we're really going to hammer wrestling here on this podcast, this live stream. We're even gonna stream not video. We're not there yet, but we're going to live stream some wrestling matches too.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So we're definitely into it and can't wait. And
Oh,
we
definitely.
appreciate you kicking off our wrestling coverage with this interview.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck this year, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you, Kenny.
That is Kirby Martin, head wrestling coach for the Mifflin County Huskies. That was good at the end when he hooked up to his laptop. No more technical difficulties.
Yeah, smooth sailing. I love it.
Well, let's finish this up with the football. I forgot, and I was trying to do it before we got on air, the slides. But, wow. Penns Valley and Bald Eagle, you covered it.
Oh,
I watched it on the stream. One of the best games I have ever seen in high school football. And Penns Valley pulls it out, and with the win, goes to the District 6 title game for the first time since 1991, where they will take on the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders, who upset the number 1 seed Richland 32-22 last week. Talk about that Bald Eagle game, buddy. Was that something or what?
I'll tell you what, that was one of the hardest hitting games I've ever seen. I'm definitely a Ty Watson believer, boy, after that.
Oh,
it was,
my God, can that kid. I knew he was a heck of a wrestler, state place winner. But my Lord, you're right. I mean, he was like dragging 3-4 guys with him before they could bring him down. But what surprised me, I knew Penns Valley had the offense, but I was surprised by their speed. I didn't realize they were that quick, and their defense was pretty tough.
Yeah, and Watson was one of the drivers on that too, on the defensive end too. He was hitting. I mean, you could hear the pops on the sidelines. It was just, it was, like I said, one of the hardest hitting games I've ever seen or heard. It's some of these hits, I'm surprised the kids got up. They were just like two automobiles hitting each other. It was insane. It was close in the first half, but the Rams offense started getting hot towards the end of the first half and into the third quarter, and they just wore Bald Eagle down. And I haven't seen Bald Eagle wore down that much all year. So definitely a believer in the Rams on that. Wow.
Yeah, and the good thing about this is going to be a nice rivalry because most of their kids, especially at the skill levels, are coming back. So it's going to be fun next year when they meet in the regular season and then maybe again in the playoffs.
Yeah, and like I said last week, it's a shame that that had to come so early. It would have been a better in the championship game for all the marbles, but it came a couple games quicker. But yeah, it was a great game, and even the coach Jess Nagel, he loved how his kids played. He just said, we just got beat by a better team on this night. My kids, they just wore us out.
Well, next up is Bishop Guilfoyle. No stranger. They've been like 4 or 5 times state champions in their past. And they are, as far as offensively, like Bellwood Annis was, they're a one-trick pony. Carson Keysweater has passed for 1,593 yards and 15 touchdowns. And he's also ran for 1,269 yards. And get this, 20 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
So it's pretty much, you can see, stop one guy
Mm-hmm.
for Penns Valley. What do you think's going to go down in this game, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what. I doubted the Rams last week. I said they'd lose by 1, and that was a mistake. This team, ever since losing that game to the Eagles earlier in the season, they've just gotten better and better, and they're peaking now at the right time. And they beat Tyrone along the way. Had some other tough games. I think if this is the year for the Rams to do it, I think they're going to win 24-21.
I'll tell you what I don't like about this. It's the District 6 title game, and that's the way it works because they have them in Mansion Park.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it that Penns Valley's the higher seed, but they're playing in Guilfoyle's backyard.
Yeah. There's a little
because
bit of
Guilfoyle shares Mansion Park with Altoona.
Mm-hmm.
When Altoona's on the road, they play their home games there. So I think I know it's the way it's set up with it. Mansion Park's always hosted the District 6 championships. But I think for something like this, they should pick a neutral site because Penns Valley is the number 2 seed. Guilfoyle's the 4 seed. But they got to go basically and play Guilfoyle in a home game for the Marauders.
Yeah, you could have had that game at Bald Eagle. You could have had that game at maybe Tyrone. You could have had it,
Exactly.
I
would say Bald Eagle with that nice artificial turf they got.
Right. But for some reason, just because the Rams, don't have the higher drawing of fans as what maybe the other team has, it doesn't make sense. I just wish something would make sense here, but it just doesn't. They shouldn't be allowed to have that game in their backyard. That's my opinion, but the Ram fans are going to pack the stadium, that, and that's just another like blackboard thing for the Rams. It's us against the world, and they can use that to their advantage,
Yeah, I know Bishop Guilfoyle's a private school, but I'm with you. I'm not going to undersell the Rams either. I think they're actually going to win this. I agree. I think it's going to be 23-20. And if I'm not mistaken, that would be their first District 6 championship ever.
Nice.
Because they went in 91 but lost.
And with
and that's the only other time they've ever been in the District 6 finals. So we said that. We forgot to do the final score, what we thought of Juniata and Meadville. Did you do your score? I don't remember.
No, I don't think we got to that point.
We covered it, but we didn't do the final score. So what do you think about Juniata, Meadville?
Oh, I think with Waylon Aronzeller back and some other young running backs starting to really come on as of late with that defense, I think that Juniata can pull the upset. I think I see them winning 21-17.
Well, they know that Meadville, the Bulldogs are going to run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you got a kid with 2,000 yards and another one with 1,000, they're going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And they've only lost one game on the year. And I believe that was to McDowell, who's playing State College.
Mm.
I don't know. I know Juniata's got a great defense. I don't want to undersell them. But I think Meadville is going to pull this one out. And I'm going to say 27-17. Well, that wraps up our show tonight. I want to thank our guest, Kirby Martin, Mifflin County wrestling coach. Great having him on. Great to kick off our wrestling season with him. How about it, Kenny?
Oh, most definitely. I couldn't think of anybody better to start things off.
And this is a reminder, if you have any suggestions for guests, any comments, anything at all, just drop us a line at the pressbox9921@gmail.com. That's the pressbox9921@gmail.com. And our wrestling coverage is going to kick off soon, Mr. Barner. We're going to have interviews. We're going to have matches. I'm all excited about the season.
Oh, I am too. I'm anxious to learn a lot more about wrestling. Everyone knows I do more basketball than wrestling, but I can't wait to hang out and soak in some knowledge from you and get to watch some of these great matches.
Well, yeah, we're not going to shortchange basketball either. We'll have basketball guests on our show because Kenny's is a basketball guy too. So it's good that we have both of us. One is a wrestling guy, the other one is a basketball guy.
Yep.
So that helps. Oh, and we also, both of us would like to congratulate Marissa Gingrich for getting a Division I offer in basketball to NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology. They play, I think it's in the American East with Binghamton and Albany and schools like that. So Division I, no matter where it's at, is hard to come by, and she got a full ride. So congratulations to Marissa Gingrich.
Yes, congratulations. I can't wait for this season to start, too, to see what else she's going to do this year on the court.
Yeah, I mean, she lost a lot, though. Brianna Bodorf's gone. Maya Allmiller's gone. Knable's gone. Kate Knable. I believe Emma Weaver's gone too. That's a lot of gone, Mr. Varner.
Yeah, but they got some younger kids coming up through that might shake some things up, and we'll be okay. Mifflin County. Yeah, I'm from.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that more and more. It's basketball and wrestling season, and maybe we can get Scott Gantz on and do some indoor track too. And wrestling isn't just, we love Mifflin County. We live here. I live here, but you're up in Center County now, right?
Right.
But we're all both Mifflin Countyans, but we're going to have State College. Hopefully we get Mike Maney at Bellefonte, Cummins at State College. If any of them are listening, come on. Gano at Bald Eagle area. I already talked to Adam Barrick and Jared Dressler, Juniata. They're going to come on.
Nice.
So we're gonna hit the winter sports pretty hard. I mean, the two main ones, wrestling and basketball. But once again, we want to thank Kirby Martin for being on the show, and we'll be back next Wednesday with another guest on the press box. And Kenny, any final words this evening?
Just like always, thank you guys for listening and tuning in, and can't wait to talk to you guys next week.
Yes, I agree with that. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Have a good night, a great rest of your week, and a great weekend. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.